So this is Kenny. Kenny's going to tell you about his experience in plumbing. And we will talk about it.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. I want to get started on this, so we're going to have time. I want everybody to come up here and take it apart, put it together. Okay? We'll start from a basic set in the bowl. This would be your floor flange. Now, this is a plastic flange. You might have a brass flange. The old style was all brass. Today they use all plastic. So you would have that on the floor. This is going to be your wax.
You guys see it over there? You can come right here if you want.
Move right out.
You want to come?
No, I'll do that.
There's one here. We'll move these guys down. The closer the better.
Should I just sit in the back?
You'd like the best.
Excuse me.
This is your wax seal. This is what's going to make the seal between the base of the toilet and the floor itself, the flange. Sometimes you might have water leaking out when you flush the toilet out from under it. This would be the culprit. So,
Does it wear out after a while?
yeah, they can, yes.
How long does it?
There's real no average on
The
that.
only reason that we really leak is that the toilet wiggles across the floor.
And
it's set grounded and everything. It's already grounded.
that's a
and
common,
solid
right,
as a rock.
that's a common thing, and that will, it'll actually wear this wax down, and then it'll start leaking.
Exactly.
So that's something. Well, we're talking about an uneven toilet. If you were setting a toilet, and you have an uneven floor, there's two ways you can do it. You can use little wedges, you can stick them under there, but the best way is plaster of Paris. Just buy a small thing of plaster of Paris, mix it up, and just lay it right around in the area where the roll is going to set. Okay? And then when you set your bowl, and you want to just leave that alone, basically, set the bowl lightly and let it dry. That'll take up that. You'll have a good solid surface, just like you want a flat surface. So that's an old plumbing trick. That's what everybody uses.
Very stiff, not like mayonnaise, more like peanut butter without the nuts.
Right,
Okay?
exactly.
That you want it a little stiffer because you want to lift the toilet up and then set it down into that, and then we're not going to wiggle the jiggle after that. That's what's going to make a nice solid base for this. Think of it as a foundation.
Exactly. So just tilt this.
Is it going to make that plaster level though? Do you have to use a level to make sure the plaster's level, or you just...
No, you're just going to, by eye, just roughing it by eye. Because once you set the bowl down, the bowl will self-level on it.
Well, you could use a level.
You could use a
Well,
level.
you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. All right. So there's two ways you can put the seal on, and it's just a matter of preference. Some people prefer to put it on here. A lot of times in instructions, it'll tell you to put it here. But some people think it's easier just to lay it that way. It doesn't matter whichever way you feel comfortable doing. This one has the cone in. You see that black cone? That always would face down. So it's going to divert any of your waste right down into the center of that. So you would peel this outer coating off and set the ring right on there like that. And you would take the bowl.
That ring is made of very soft wax.
Right.
Very soft wax.
And then you would just hold it in position and carefully place it down over the flange. Okay?
That flange will be flat with the subfloor.
Right, that would be, of course, that would be flat. Now, if your flange is level with the floor or above the floor, ideally above the floor, like on a new construction, that'd be great. What happens is people redo their bathroom and they put another layer of tile. Now this flange winds up down low. Okay? If you're a quarter of an inch you can get away with. If it's a half inch or something like that, then you've got to go with a deep seal. They make this seal much thicker. It's an extra large seal or extended seal, they'll call it. So you've got to use that, otherwise you're not going to have enough wax to make that seal, and it will leak on you. Any questions on that part? Okay. Actually, this would be your bolts. Your bolt would go up through the flange. It would stick up like that. They have these little plastic things. You would slide that on, and that's just going to hold that bolt in position. So when you set that down, and it's going to happen. Sometimes you hit the thing, and it's going to pop out. Sometimes you have to do it a few times to get it on there.
You would have the bolts on there before you put the seal on, right? When
Well,
you do the
yeah.
bolts first? Okay.
Yeah, well, you would ideally put the bolts into the flange, and then you're gonna put the seal, let's say you put the, yeah, either way, put it on there, and then you're just gonna position it right down.
Now, if you got an older toilet and they use the brass, how do you, it looks obviously good and no problem.
Right, as long as it's good, as long as your slots are good. You have these little slots. You see the little square? See how it's got, and that's where your bolt would slide in.
If you've got the old toilet off, it's just as easy to put one of these on.
Right.
It's not, it's garbage, at that point, it's garbage, get rid of it.
Well, how does it sit? Is the old one sweated onto the copper pipe, which I know is the drain pipe? It just sits.
Just twist it on.
Yeah.
Just those bolts are coming over.
Because that seems to be, there's no seal there. How do they seal that? Sewer gases and all that.
Well, your wax ring is
Wax
actually
ring.
doing your seal.
I mean,
Actually,
the flange
the
connection
toilet
to the pipe.
itself is really doing the seal.
What's the flange connection to the pipe? How does that seal to the pipe?
Oh, the connection from the pipe to here?
Yeah.
Okay,
How is that
all right.
sealed
This,
to the pipe?
this is PVC, so this would just be cemented.
Okay.
If it was a brass ring, actually what they do, it's usually you'll have a lead vent, what they call a lead vent. You look downstairs, you see a big long sweep of like lead. You know, you can see the color of it, it'll look like lead.
Right.
That is actually just peened over the flange.
So there's a chance when I get into my old toilet, that might be messed up.
It's possible, right.
If it's totally viable and everything is fine and then you can leave the ring then. I'm not suggesting you go for another $4 to replace
Right,
it.
right.
If it's crappy, get rid of it.
They do make a flange, which works great with that. If you had a problem like that, take that flange off. We have one that has a rubber gasket like on it, okay? And it will fit 4-inch pipe and it'll fit a lead band,
It's just
okay?
a force fit.
Just, right.
Yeah.
If you just push it down in there, it'll make a seal and then just screw the flange down. And you're done. I mean, that's the greatest thing since that came out.
Because usually in my house, when I get into something, it's always an extra problem.
Mm-hmm.
Murphy's Law applies to everything.
That's right.